Yo, it's me, it's the SCOTT. And after last week's disaster that was Fanforstic, I thought I would take a look at a good film by Josh Trank. So we're going to take a look here on Modern Mondays. Chronicle, a found footage film that came out in 2012. And I say found footage because while the premise of the film, three high school friends find something that gives them magic powers and they use the camera to document it, lends itself greatly to found footage. How they execute it in this film doesn't work. Like at the very beginning, you show that the main character, Andrew, played by Dane DeHaan, he's going to record everything. He bought a new camera, his dad's pounding on the door, "What are you doing in there?" And he's like, "I'm recording everything now." So right now he's recording everything, despite the fact that they wouldn't allow him to record in high school, yet he is. So soon he's with his cousin Matt, and soon he meets his cousin Matt's friend Steve, played by Michael B. Jordan. And they find something in a hole, and they start documenting it when it gives them powers and everything. And it's actually kind of cool how they pull out the special effects and stuff. It's kind of cool, except for when they're flying. When they're flying, you can tell it's on a green screen, and then they have that little blow thing with a fan or whatever keeping them up. Other than that, it's pretty good. But the found footage thing, why did this need to be a found footage film? Is what I want to know. Because you're kind of constricted by that. So now you have to figure out every angle of this film. How are you going to make every angle of this film found footage? Because you wrote scenes where Andrew, the guy who is established to be recording everything, isn't in those scenes. Like there's a scene where Matt, Andrew's cousin, goes to talk to a crush of his. Somebody has a crush on, a girl he has a crush on. And give her money for a charity. Because Andrew's not with him, if simply right that Andrew was with him in this scene, it would have worked. But because Andrew's not with him, you have to write in a way for us to be able to see what's going on. For some reason, we need to see what's going on, I guess. And that is, you have this girl is also doing a vlog, so she's recording everything. Or a vlog, whatever. And she's recording everything. Convenient. And there's also other instances where they use security camera footage to document when Andrew's camera is not on. Like when he dressed up in his dad's firefighting gear to rob a bank or a gas station, whatever, and you see footage there. During the climax, you get a helicopter camera recording everything. And another camera, and people watching in the distance. You know, people just watching on their phones or whatever, recording stuff. Because they need to have the climax be filmed. And it's established, which I kind of like this, is that Andrew can float the camera with his mind so he can see everything. But what I like is that it's not just his camera recording everything during the final showdown, because they wouldn't be able to concentrate on that, so other cameras doing it, but it's supposed to be found footage. What kind of found footage stitched together footage from random people watching on the side, a helicopter camera, some girl's camera who happened to be recording at the time that one of the suspects happened to show up at her house. Even from a camera that the police could not get their hands on, at the end, Andrew's camera that Matt has when he goes to Tibet. How'd they get that footage? The whole idea of found footage is that the cops or police or someone, news crew, whatever, has found this footage, put it together to show us what has happened to these people. It doesn't work in this, for instance. In this instance, you didn't need to make this a found footage film. Now, is this a bad movie? Not at all. It shows what happens to someone who has been physically, mentally abused by a parent when they get special abilities, what they are going to do when that happens, when they've been, abused and ridiculed their entire lives, what that does to someone. And that's Andrew. There's a scene where his dad confronts him in the basement about spending all the money on the cameras, and his dad pushes him up against the wall, and Andrew pushes him back and knocks him down. And what I don't get is why we had to end up with Andrew in the hospital. Because he sets himself on fire by accident during this robbery or whatever. He's wearing this fire suit, whatever, and he ends up in the hospital. His dad shows up and tells him that his sick mom has died, and he blames it on Andrew. That causes him to flip out and kill his dad before Matt comes to save the day. Because, okay, so it's established that Matt, Steve, and Andrew have a connection because of their powers they got from the spaceship thing. The way they show the connection is when something happens, they get nosebleeds. Like when Andrew freaks out and pushes his dad down, Matt and Steve get nosebleeds. Matt kind of pushes it off, but Steve knows what's going on and confronts Andrew in the sky, and he gets struck by lightning and he dies. So we kill off Adonis Creed in this film. Okay. But then you got the other two leads who are not as good as Michael B. Jordan. I mean, Dan DeHaan is great, don't get me wrong, but I don't know this other guy. So I don't know. But yeah, with the story and the idea of it, it works. You know, he's been abused. How long can you take that abuse? Especially now that you have powers and you can do something about it. How long could you take that? My problem is they didn't execute that well enough to make it look like to make it look like this was his breaking point. He just seems like a whining teenager. Especially when he just freaks out after his dad blames him. He kills his dad, and then now he's just going nuts on random people out there. And Matt has to come save the day. And then Matt gets away. But it's not a bad film. It's far better than Fantastic. Like I said, the special effects, the idea behind it, they just add a little more into that abuse angle. Like, what would he do? Don't have him turn into a villain. Have him be the hero, defending people who are getting abused. Don't have him kill people. Have him defend them. You know, he's been abused. You know what it's like, so he fights other people who are being abused as well and helping them out. That would have worked. But instead, you turn him to a whiny little baby and make him evil when it's not necessary. Also, like I mentioned, the bloody nose is not needed. You could have just shown there's a connection, but just be like, I feel something wrong. Because after he gets a nosebleed again, then he realizes something's going on and has to go confront Andrew. I also like the scenes where they're actually trying to establish character stuff, and they use their powers in a talent show, and that really gains Andrew some fame, some popularity. That works. And then after he throws up on a girl, it's kind of out the window. But I do like this film. I think it has a certain charm to it. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Because it's far better than Fantastic. I'll tell you that much. Josh Trank did a good job with this film. I just don't think that it needed to be found footage. When you have to figure out other ways to get the footage, when you have to say, oh, security camera, helicopter cam, random girl from the high school's camera vlog, I don't think you know what found footage means. But other than that, it's a decent film. Make sure you watch it. It's pretty good. So, 7 out of 10. What are your thoughts on Chronicle? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty. See you in the next one.